Good morning and welcome to Wednesday. Look, we've got a bit of blue sky in the background and the birds are singing and the owl is still awake, which is really nice. Anyway, have you ever had, and you must have had, conversations where you really cannot fathom or understand what the other person's mindset must be like? I'm sure you've had them. And I had this when I was at an event years ago selling my first book, When Dad Became Joe. And it was so strange because I had these two conversations within a really short space of time. Very similar demographics these ladies were. They both told me at the start of the conversation that they were religious. Now, the first conversation, the lady explained that it was, she was concerned about her niece who was going through transition from male to female, and that her parents weren't very supportive, but she wanted to be supportive, but she was struggling to communicate with her niece to be able to give her that support. So we had quite an in-depth conversation about how she could try and connect with her niece so that she could give her the support that she needed. And she went away a lot happier, which was lovely. The second conversation I had, the lady was very bitter. She was very angry, or appeared to be very angry, about people who were changing themselves from what they were born. So, and she said this to me, whatever sex you are born as, that is what you are. And she started to talk about how, especially men, were transitioning to women so that they could go into the ladies' toilets and changing rooms and perv, basically. And I tried to talk to her about the other side of somebody's mindset and why people don't feel happy in their own body. And it was a hard conversation because I could see that she was not open to any other suggestion. And then she turned to me and she looked me in the eye and she said, "How do you know that your dad isn't transitioning so that he can go into the women's toilets and changing rooms?" And I realised at this point that I was, however much skill I'd got in debate and conversation, she was so closed off to a different way of thinking about things that I was never going to change her mind, however much time I got. So I just turned to her, looked her in the eye and said, "Because I know the integrity of my father." Full stop. I didn't see any more. She gave me a huff and a puff and a grunt, and then she just went on her way. So some people, you know, we can have great conversations with. Other people, it's really, really difficult. And we have to, at times like those, we just have to come to terms with the fact that just let that conversation be where it is and move on from it. Because otherwise it can eat you up, send you down a rabbit hole of negative thoughts and feelings that is going to make your life very difficult. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.